Welcome back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on WKYC. Happy Friday. Thanks for spending time with us. I thought this was an easy question, but maybe I'm wrong. The schedule is out. It's like a holiday for us when the schedule comes out. And I love what the league has done with all the teams releasing their schedule videos. Yeah. It really has, again, kudos to the NFL, the greatest marketing arm on the planet.
It's amazing.
They know how to market anything, including a schedule release. Which game are you most looking forward to?
The obvious answer I think that you think is the Chiefs, and I am looking forward to that. But my answer is the Dallas Cowboys.
That's my answer.
Oh!
That's my answer.
All right, well, then I'm going to flip-flop to the Chiefs.
That was my answer, too. So
everybody's got
the reason I say that is because it's the next game.
Right.
I can't wait for that
Well,
game.
and I love the matchup of Dak Prescott against Deshaun Watson. We know for all the Cowboys' flaws in the postseason, they're a consistently good regular season team.
They are.
Especially early in the year.
So let's do this. Let's throw the Cowboys game out.
All right. Well, then I'm going with the Chiefs. I mean, you know, Patrick Mahomes coming to Cleveland. That's exciting. The guy's the best player in football. I mean, and last year was the year you're like, he's not as good this year. They're not as good this year.
And they win.
And they still won the Super Bowl. Yeah. So anytime you get to play the Chiefs, you guys mentioned iron sharpens iron before. Well, there's no better iron than Patrick Mahomes.
You're absolutely right.
Man, you done messed up the whole segment, boo. Let's go with, I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out to producer Steve. You know, I like that game because it's at Philadelphia. It's at a place where you know it's going to be raucous. You know it's going to be, you know, they're going to be into it. And Philadelphia got a roster. They got the quarterback. They got two good receivers. They got the defense. It's the first test for the Cleveland Browns to go on the road to see what they're talking about. So, you know, for me, I like the fact that some of the schedule, you know, with the Commanders and the Giants and the Jaguars, the Browns have a potential to get off to a really good start, but I believe that the Philadelphia Eagles game is the first game where you get to see a road test on a team that went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago that's looking to bounce back, disappointed the way they finished. I like that game against the Eagles.
I like that game, but I got to tell you, have they stopped the bleeding? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know yet.
We're gonna see.
I've never, in all of my years watching the NFL, seen a team do a complete about-face like they did last year.
Well, I would say the one thing I can think of is the year the Browns beat the Steelers in the playoffs. Remember, the Steelers started 11-0 that year.
Yeah, but you know what? That 11-0 to me was all fraudulent years.
And at least you understood because you could tell Roethlisberger was going over the cliff.
Right.
With the Eagles,
it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like Jalen Hurts was terrible.
I have a good friend. Producer Steve is an Eagles fan, but I have a very good former baseball teammate who's a huge Eagles fan. He grew up in the area.
Yeah.
He called it. Like at week 12, he said, "We're done. We won't win again." And I'm like, get out of here. You're being a typical cynical Philly fan.
Yeah.
You guys are one of the best teams. He goes, no, you don't understand. There is infighting like I've never seen. There's coaches are squabbling with coaches. Players are squabbling with players. Coaches are squabbling with players. The front office is squabbling with everybody. It is over. And he was right. And I just didn't see that coming.
Yeah,
usually talent can overcome that. So I don't know what they're going to be.
That's fair.
Have they stemmed the bleeding?
Yeah.
I don't know. But that is a game that, for me, it's a good yardstick. If they are the Eagles, it's a really good yardstick nationally. You know, I mean, globally.
Right.
Because we're looking at AFC teams. Bull, we're like brothers anymore. We're so much in line.
Yeah.
When you said the Cowboys, I'm like,
bless you.
Excuse me. When you said the Cowboys, I'm like, that's my answer. And then you went to the Chiefs, and that's my answer. And I think that's the obvious game.
Yeah.
It really is the yardstick game in the NFL. The two Bengals games would be right below the Chiefs game. I love the Ohio thing and the rivalry, and they're a yardstick too.
Yeah, for me, the Browns playing the Bengals just gives me agita.
I know. It's got to be the toughest games of the year for you.
I will say this.
They're not fun for me, but I get they are good games, and the Browns have played great against the Bengals.
That is one game where Deshaun Watson, in one game, he can change a whole lot of stuff.
You're right.
It's like
he can be the reason, either the reason they win or the reason they lose.
If he can beat Patrick Mahomes at home, in front of this crowd, people will finally say Baker who.
You're right. You're absolutely right. If you can, Steve, take that last graphic to weeks 13 to 17, I think it was. I want to point something out that I'm sure you guys talked about upon the release. But I think this speaks to what the NFL believes the Cleveland Browns are going to be. To get a prime time slot No, not that one. The one that
The
had
one with the primetime
primetime games.
They got four primetime games in 6 weeks.
And so of all the things that you pay attention to when it comes out, one of them is the primetime appearances.
Yeah.
It's not just that they have 4 primetime games. It's that they're all in the last quarter of the season.
That's right. And by the way, it wouldn't be a stunner if Browns-Ravens Week 18 ended up being the Sunday. There's only Sunday night is the only
Monday night
time.
and week.
No Monday, no Thursday the last week. But if that game ends up being a night game too, wouldn't surprise me.
It could be flexed in. Now, Week 18, the schedule looks like all of the games are rivalry games.
Right.
They're all big.
But that's certainly one game that could be a possibility.
Absolutely could be flexed in there. So, I mean, the NFL, and they're pretty good at doing this, is projecting the Browns to be a real player late into the season. And that's good.
The NFL's unofficial blackout is now over.
I think you're right.
There's like, listen, we're going to let y'all back in. Last year.
Yeah, they paid their price.
You listen, y'all had to suffer a little bit. We're going to invite y'all back to prime time.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that. All right, this is interesting. Our pivot here is to the way fans look at the schedule. Typically, Browns fans look at it in a way where they go, oh, this one scares me to death. Oh, God, that's scary. This is awful. This is awful. But, Earl, you've been a fan your whole life. Your outlook this year is different than at any other time in your fandom. Tell us why.
Yeah, so I've been a fan longer than I've been a professional. And when I just look at how this team has been built over the last 4 to 5 years, I'm looking at the roster, I'm looking at the coaching staff, I'm looking at the entire culture of the Cleveland Browns, and this is the first time that I looked and said, darn, the Cleveland Browns can play with any team in the NFL. So I can care less who we play, when we play them, where city we play them at, etc. This is the first time I've looked at this team, and I really feel like mano a mano, my team can step up and compete against any other team in the league.
Which is probably how the Patriots looked at their schedule for so many years.
Absolutely.
It's how the Chiefs are looking at their schedule. Do you guys agree with that?
100%.
You don't care? Anybody, any place, any time?
No, I don't. I mean, again, it depends how good Watson is. But even if Watson is mediocre, I still think the Browns will be good. It certainly won't be as good if he's really good. But, yeah, I mean, when you're a good team, it shouldn't matter.
Right.
In fact, when the Bengals got good with Burrow, I liked when they played good teams because it was more exciting. I want to see how he stacks up against the other teams. It's the same thing with Watson. If he can get back to being the player we hoped he was when they traded for him, I want to see how he stacks up against Burrow and Mahomes and Lamar and all those great quarterbacks. And the Browns will there's 10 games they're going to play, barring injury, against quarterbacks that are also top 10 guys.
Right.
So we're going to really find out if he can compete with those guys.
I'll say this as a few caveats. There are some unknowns. Who's calling these plays? Still don't know. If Dorsey's calling them plays, what does the playbook look like? Is Nick Chubb coming back? What does he look like? Is Jerry Jeudy going to be a true number 2? Is Elijah Moore going to step up and be a 3? Can you find another pass rusher besides Myles Garrett in December? All these things. Can Denzel Ward stay on the field and not miss 5-6 games?
Can we rely on Myles Garrett this December?
Right. So there's a lot. Those are. I get it. I liked what they got top to bottom, but there are major questions that no one's going to be able to say anything or answer until week 1, especially with the offense.
But I think almost every team outside of probably Kansas City has many of those same questions or similar ones to what the Browns have. Yeah, not all those teams are changing coordinators. I get that. And we have the Watson question, which the other good teams don't. But, the Bengals are asking about their, extra receivers with Boyd out. Will Higgins hold out? All these teams are besides, again, the Chiefs, they don't need to ask any questions because they've proven enough at this point. But all the other legit contenders, the Ravens are like, hey, last time Lamar had a great season, he didn't have a good year the next year. The Bills have lost all their, Bills' skill position
Bills have
players.
a lot of questions.
I mean, so there's all these teams have a ton of questions.
And it's interesting with the Chiefs. They're going to try to do something this year that's never been done. And whenever you're chasing history,
that's true.
Ask the Patriots how they succumbed to that pressure against the Giants in the Super Bowl when they were trying to become the second team ever to run the table with a perfect record.
That's right.
They finished 16-0. They made it to the Super Bowl. They lost to an underdog and really undermanned New York Giants football team. I'm confident, Earl. I can't get to your stage because of the questions. And here are the questions. Well, it starts with the biggest position in the sport. I don't know what the quarterback is. I still don't. So because of that, I can't pound my chest and say, bring it, anyone, anywhere, anytime. The other question is our best player, otherwise, second best player, in Nick Chubb. I don't know what he's going to be. I don't know what we can count on. So those are two big spots with two big questions. I'm confident, but I'm not anywhere anytime
But if
confident.
Watson is back to the Houston quarterback,
then I'm very confident.
the Chubb thing doesn't matter as much.
It matters less.
Yes.
We're taking a break.